Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from View Masterpiece 1117. Am I the beehole for taking the family on vacation without my wife and stepdaughter? My stepdaughter is in high school and has a best friend she's known since they were babies. My wife and I have two children together. My stepdaughter's best friend has a birthday in December. We were all aware of her birthday because we attend it every year. This year, my side of the family planned to take a huge overseas Christmas vacation, which required us to ask the friend's mother for the party date. We planned and bought our tickets to leave 2 days after the party so that my stepdaughter wouldn't miss it. Monday, my stepdaughter came home and told us the party date was moved to accommodate some of her friend's family members who decided last minute to fly in for it. The problem is that the date was moved to one well after our departure date. Here's the problem. First, we are not made of money, so for us to change the flight and hotel for our family will more than double the cost. Second, it will be 2 weeks overseas trip, so I already had my vacation approved and can't change it if we fly out after the party. My vacation will be cut down to only a week. Third, I only get to see some of my siblings only at Christmas, so if I don't go this year, I won't see them until next year. Fourth, my entire side of the family planned our vacation around the party date months ago. My original solution was to tell her friend's parents to keep their original date, since my family planned around their schedule. My wife immediately shot down that idea. My second solution was for the four of us to leave as planned, but change my stepdaughter's ticket since she's on break, and is old enough to fly by herself. My wife shot down that idea too, since she's also friends with the other mother and wants to go to the party. My wife's solution is for us to just fly out after the party. I don't like this idea at all because of the added costs and lessening time. Our talk turned into arguments that's lasted all week. Last night, my wife put her foot down and said we're not missing the birthday party, to which I replied that she's not missing the birthday party. I told her I'm flying out with our two kids as planned, whether or not she's on the flight. That took our argument to the next level, to the point my stepdaughter called me a beehole, so I tried to ground her, at which point my wife said I couldn't because she was justified. Everything's a mess now. Update. There are two common questions, and I think I should answer. It's a Sweet 16 party. It's going to be huge, with over 100 people in attendance and catered food. I have been told almost everyone in their class is attending. The other mother and my wife have been friends since birth of their girls. She helped my wife through her divorce, and my stepdaughter stayed with them for days at a time during the worst part of that process. Okay, OP, you're not the beehole. Your wife and your stepdaughter are beeholes. Like you said, you took the time off and all of that, so they don't care how this affects you. They only care about how they look or spending time with that other family. That should tell you a lot about how they see you, OP. What's up does your wife know about the cost? Does she make her own money, and will she make up for the cost of you having to switch, switch to a different date? And how will she compensate you for the days you're going to lose from your job because you had to take those days off? And also, I'm not too fond of that disrespect she showed you by when you ground your stepdaughter for being, well, disrespectful and rude. Your wife was like, "Nah, it's cool. She can disrespect you and be rude to you." That also tells me a lot about the woman you married, OP. That maybe you shouldn't have, I'm not saying divorce. I'm just saying that would open my eyes to the person I'm with for the rest of my life. That they're prioritizing this family that's not blood. Well, you're not bloody, but you know what I mean. You're married over her husband that married her with a kid. Like, most guys don't want to do that. So OP, uh, and honestly, I hate wasting money. So OP, I would have done the same thing as you. I'd be like, you guys can figure it out. I'm going on my vacation that I have paid for. I'm not wasting my money. Hell, you're already wasting money if they don't come, but I'm not gonna waste all of my money. It's for a Sweet 16. Who cares? I don't know, because I don't care about parties. I'm an introvert. I don't like being around. Well, I don't mind being around a group of people. I just don't want to go to a group of people. But if I end up with a group of people, okay, I could figure it out. But I kind of just wandered off there. Sorry, but yes, OP, I'm with you. I would have done the same thing as you. It's like, I'm not wasting my money. I'm going on my vacation. If you guys get there, cool. If you don't, oh well. Enjoy the party. I hope you have fun eating a meh cake and maybe some sad hors d'oeuvres. Looking down the comments, Reasonable Sale 8611 said it better than I could. Not the beehole. Did your wife and daughter fail to notice that although your family planned your trip around the dates of her friend's birthday party, her friend's parents couldn't be bothered to keep their planned date, and they also changed the party date for their family wishes? So, in your daughter's and wife's eyes, not only does your daughter's friend take priority over your whole family, but your daughter's friend's extended family takes priority over your extended family. One of two things happen here in their minds of your daughter's and friends' parents. Either they have no respect for you whatsoever and expect you to absorb thousands of dollars in fees to change your flights and expect you to miss half your family vacation, or they actually don't really care if your daughter goes to this party or not. There's more, but I believe that part sums it up perfectly. I forgot that you even planned your vacation around their party, which is insane to me. I think you guys are being way too nice to these people. I wouldn't plan my vacation around somebody's sweet 16. Like I said, who cares? But yeah, like it says, they prioritized their family after you guys, went to the trouble of, planning your vacation around them. That makes them even more rude and disrespectful. OP, go on your vacation. And I don't know, if your wife and stepdaughter show up, cool. If they don't, oh well. And our next one comes from New Prize 7698. Am I the beehole for telling my sister-in-law I adopted my dog, not her, and she could spend Christmas elsewhere if she's scared of my dog? My, a 30-year-old female, brother, James, a 34-year-old, is married to Sylvia, a 33-year-old. Not sure if this is relevant, but Sylvia is saying it so much I'm including it. She grew up and aged out of foster care. Me, my husband, James, Sylvia, and my parents were meant to go to my parents' house for the holidays, but unfortunately they had issues with their plumbing, and their house is now unheated, so they're staying with me and my husband, and the celebrations are now at our home. This has upset Sylvia because we have a dog. Sylvia has trauma relating to large dogs, and as such is petrified of my dog. He is a very large rescue dog. We're working on retraining and socializing him. But so far, he's been fine around most people. She knows all of this, but she's still scared, and is saying she won't be comfortable staying in the house with the dog. She suggested we send him to a boarding kennel for the holidays, which I'm unwilling to do. He is not good with new environments or unfamiliar men, and the house is his home. I don't see a reason to remove him from the environment because Sylvia has issues which have nothing to do with her. The family was split and arguing in a group chat, and Sylvia sent a message saying that the family, we should accommodate her. I replied saying I have a responsibility to my dog, that I adopted my dog, and not her, and that if she can't deal with it, then she needs to spend the holidays elsewhere. This kicked off an argument because Sylvia said I was weaponizing her background, which I don't think I was. My point was that I accepted responsibility for my dog, for his well-being and his comfort. And frankly, the safety of others around him. I have no such responsibility for Sylvia. My mother is saying I shouldn't have used those words, as I should have known it would be triggering for her. My dad is on my side. James is now saying Sylvia doesn't feel welcomed at Christmas, even though I told him she's very much welcome to my home as is. I'm just not removing the dog. Am I the beehole for making that point to her? Edit, for everyone saying why can't we keep the dog in another room? We offered. The visit is supposed to be several days, but we offered to keep the dog separated. But Sylvia said she'd be anxious the whole time knowing he's there. She said any barking/howling will trigger her, and that she won't be able to sleep knowing that he's in the house. Alright, looking at this one, I see on Reddit it says poo mode activated, so I assume that means they think you're the beehole. I don't think you're the beehole, old P. I'm gonna go against Reddit. Screw all of you. I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. I have dogs in my house right now. And I've had people come over to my house who are afraid of dogs. And I have two. One that will get in your personal space and bark at you. She won't do anything, but she's like a shepherd mixed with a husky, so she looks pretty big and scary. So I keep her in a room with people who are afraid of dogs coming over, like you suggested you would do, which I think that would be a good compromise. She's afraid of barks and howls and stuff like that. How does she function? At nighttime, or if an ambulance goes by, my neighborhood gets lit up with sounds from dogs, howling and barking. But, back to what I was saying, my other dog though, she's basically a plush toy that came to life. She's a black lab shepherd husky mix. I think that's her. She has a lot of mixes. But her favorite thing to do is sleep and eat. So she's mostly lab. But like I said, I've had people afraid of dogs come over and they'll pet her because she's such a great dog. Now, it sounds like your dog actually might be like that too. We're a great little ambassador for people to get, used to dogs who are afraid of dogs. So that's the way I'm seeing it. Like if they were trying to tell me to put my dogs in a kennel. First of all, I'm not wasting money on putting my dogs in a kennel. Second of all, my dogs are my family. And if I'm having a family get together at my house, my dogs are going to be there because they are family. So she needs to figure out something or not come. I think you guys did a fine compromise where like, we'll keep them in another room when she's here, which that might be a little tough, if you're staying there multiple days. Maybe put them in the backyard and bring them in at night to, sleep in the room that you want to put them in. But I agree with you. You shouldn't have to cater to her and remove your dogs and put them in a kennel just for her. She has the option of not coming. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I disagree with Reddit on this one. OP, if I were you, I would stick to my guns and I would not send my dog away, especially since you rescued him, you're retraining him. Yeah, that'd be messed up putting him in a scary environment that he doesn't know and hoping he gets, that might mess him up even more. So, OP, keep your dog and have a fantastic Christmas. If she comes, cool. If she doesn't, oh well. Like I said, I agree with you. If I was in that situation, my dog takes priority. Our next one comes from Interesting Web 3148. Am I the beehole for laughing at my brother's girlfriend after she asked why none of us like her? My, a 20-year-old female's, brother's, Mark, a 23-year-old male, has been with his girlfriend, a 22-year-old female, Jane, for a year. She is one of the most passive-aggressive, snarky people you will ever meet. Her middle name is Petty. The thing that caused our family to keep her at arm's length was when she got mad at our mum for accommodating our younger sister's autism, and not force feeding her as well as allowing her to read at the table, something that calms her down. She got on mom's arse for enabling an entitled brat. Another example was when my mum supported Mark's decision to get the tattoo he's been saving up for years. Jane proceeded to call mom up and complain that he made the deposit with his hard-earned saved money and has an appointment set. She told mom she wasn't going to allow this emotional incest anymore, and that she was happy to make an appointment for all of us for family therapy, as this admonishment is making her uncomfortable. Quick little interjection. I looked it up. Admonishment, I don't know if I'm saying it right, is like a therapy term for, I guess, family incest stuff. I don't know. It's, back to it. She has continued to make comments like these, specifically to Mum, and it's disgusting how little she respects her and has for her, pretty much everyone but herself. She's not been invited to Christmas this year, but Mark is. It's unclear what they're planning to do yet. A few days ago, Jane called me as Mom blocked her. She said she was 3 months pregnant and went a long rant about the family dynamic. She then asked, "Why don't you all like me?" I laughed out loud of pure shock and asked if she was serious. She didn't even respond, just said, "I'll call you when you're in the mood to be more mature," and hung up. I told Mum about the situation, and she's on my side, but Mark is fuming at me for laughing at Jane's stupid question. OP didn't say stupid, but it's a stupid question, so I put stupid there. And angry at Mom for being on my side. Mom just told him that he needs to talk to Jane about her constant comments and insults, and she's expecting an apology. Mark won't talk to me, and Jane blocked my number. Am I the beehole? Edit. The tattoo has nothing to do with our mum. It's an octopus up his arm that my brother designed himself. He does art and wanted to be a tattoo artist. OP, I probably would have done the same thing as you. This wouldn't even be me thinking about replying to her. I would have just reacted that way. Like, really? Really? You can't see why no one wants to be around you and no one likes you when you're being a rude bee? Also, it sounds like Mark is a winner and he married a winner. Jeez, it sounds like they were made for each other. No one, no one gets to disrespect my mother or my father or my brother or my sister, and I'll let them get away with that. If I was dating someone who did that, we'd be done. I'm looking down in the comments. Reality TV Pause says, "Not the beehole. I get the reaction. It's been a lot. The girl needs to be given an intervention and directly told what she is doing is wrong. You need to prepare a list together with your mom, and your brother needs to attend. Don't be mean, just direct. When you did this, you made me feel that. We will not tolerate this in our family." Honestly, reality TV Pause, that sounds smart. And in a perfect world, I agree with you. This would probably work, but judging from the way she is, I don't think this is gonna work. My suggestion would be to just cut her off. You know, who needs that stress in their life? And our final one comes from Creative Eternal 73. Am I the beehole for telling my half-sister that I don't care that my dad refused to raise her? My mom died when I, a 26-year-old male, was 6. My half-sister was 2 at the time, and her dad was not in her life. My dad took full custody of me. He shared custody of my mom when she was alive. My half-sister was sent to a foster family because no one of my mom's side were fit to take her, and they couldn't get in touch with her dad or any of his family. I can't say that I really ever missed her. I knew about her, but I didn't really love her back then. So, I never had any guilt for being raised in a loving home with my dad and stepmom, while she was in foster care. We had 2 visits arranged by CPS in the first year after mom died, but then those stopped. She reached out to me a year ago via DMs, and we've communicated a bit through there. She found my dad through social media recently and told him he was a disgusting crap. And her not being his shouldn't have meant separating us and not caring about her. She told him a real good dad would have taken her because they loved me and couldn't stand the thought of an innocent little kid in foster care. She told him that she would celebrate when he dies and will turn me against him if it's the last thing she does, because I need my eyes opened. I found out about what happened and told her if she was going to try to turn me against my dad, then she doesn't need to talk to me again. She went through how shitey she feels he was for letting her go into foster care, and how a good person, a good dad, a good man would have saved her. She told me I should hate him for what he did. I told her I don't care that he refused her, that it wasn't his job to do. She asked how I could be so cruel and cold about this because we're siblings and I should adore her and want the best for her. She kind of lost it in DMs, honestly, so I muted her for a while and she keeps sending them, calling me all kinds of names. Am I the beehole? Edit. My parents were not together when my mom died. My dad never had any part in raising my half-sister. He was never in the same household as her. I was still a baby when my parents broke up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, reading this, I was kind of having a hard time keeping everything together. So I looked in the comments and we have Atomic Ferret 6101. By the age of you and your sister, I guess it's evident that this occurred, occur, it happened in this order. You were born, your parents split, 50-50 custody agreed upon. Your mother got pregnant with another man, had your sister, your mom died. Correct. In this case, your dad has zero responsibility to take in your sister. That was the responsibility of your sister's biological father, his family, or your mother's family. Okay, so looking at the breakdown, I get it more now, and OP says, yes, that is correct. So now that it was breaking down a little bit more better for me, I agree with the poster. OP, first of all, you're not the beehole. Your dad's not the beehole. That's not his responsibility. That is her biological dad's responsibility, and I don't know what's going on with her. She's over here power tripping that. I get it. She was mad that she's in foster care, but that's not your dad's responsibility. It's not. He took care of his responsibility, his child, you. And I get where you're coming from. You've never really met this person. How are you going to have emotional attachments to someone you've never met before? And her going nuts and saying she's going to turn you against your father and that he's garbage. That's basically a stranger calling your father a terrible person and names and telling him that, he's going to turn you against him. What is this, a Lifetime movie? OP, this is going to be an easy thing to do. Block her, never talk to her again. You never really had any contact with her anyway, so nothing's really going to change. And yeah, she's going to have to figure it out. It sucks she got dealt a bad hand, but oh well, that's just the way it is. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.